not our
homes. Foreclosed war, not our homes. Just one of many great chants that we did in celebration of International Women's Day. The weather was horrible. It rained. It was cold. But we had a good crowd of people that stuck it out. And we met in Union Square and marched down to the Shirtwaist factory where about 100 years ago, over 140 women perished in a fire. It was a horrible tragedy. And went from there to the Activist Center here in New York and listened to some wonderful women speak about the struggles and the campaigns that are going on in support of women here and around the world. We had women from the Philippines and Palestine, and I even interviewed a couple people during the rally, so I'm going to try to fit all that in. And but before I do, I just wanted to, one thing that came up again and again is this, and you've probably all heard it, somebody will be talking about how great women have it in this country, and that's usually followed by some explicit, graphic discussion of how horrible women have it in some other godforsaken country. The reason I think that we try to focus on the things that are going on here is because it's where we live. And if women in our communities are afraid of being raped, afraid of walking the streets at night, we can do something about that. I just met a young lady who moved into my neighborhood, and the first question she asked me was, is it safe to walk around at night? Well, I didn't know how to answer that, because for me as a male, yeah, it's perfectly fine. I don't know if it's the same for a female. I know it's not. And so that's something we can work on together as a community, because I want her to be able to walk whenever the hell she wants to walk and not be worried there's going to be some idiot that's going to try to fondle her or, whatever, make her feel uncomfortable. So it's not, everything's not a competition. Maybe you think this is the greatest country in the world for women. If you do, all that means is that the greatest country in the world for women has a lot of work to do. Okay, so educate yourselves about the struggles women face in our country, in our society, the rates of rape and violence against women. I think some of the women in the talks I'm going to give you talk about that in some detail, so I won't get into it. But use March to educate yourself about the issues women face. And if you love women as much as I do, spend the rest of the year doing that. So, alright, let's get into it.
Just the thought of our bed makes me crumble like the plaster we
Our lives, our right to decide. Our bodies, our lives,
our right to decide.
punch the wall beside my head, and I try to draw the line, but it ends up running down the middle of me most of the time.
I think in this country it's all part of capitalism, and that's why women are trash and this and youth and slaves pretty much.
I'm a trade unionist. As you see, I have my union raincoat on for hospital workers. This is Working Women's Day, even though a lot of working women are not employed at the moment because of the system.
Yeah.
So that's why we're here to fight that. Fight the unemployment, fight the low wages, fight the exploitation, the racism, sexism, and try to reach out to new people and bring them in and realize that you don't take it lying down.
Yeah. And then why you're out here as a man celebrating International Women's Day?
Because I think that we all need to join in the struggle.
Yeah, no roof. And I like it. I feel like I'm on an adventure.
And if you're not angry, then then you're just stupid, you don't care. How else can you react when you know something's so unfair? When the man of the hour can kill half the world in war, make them slaves to a superpower and let them die poor. I was locked.
We must not be diverted as the U.S. plans war attacks against Gaza or attacks against Hezbollah and Hamas and other groupings which are fundamentally groupings that fight for their people. We hear of all nationalities here today, all people live here. We know that no woman is going to be free because we're working class women until all women are free.
Yeah.
We're here today to recognize the rights of women all over the world. Today, to the mothers, daughters, sisters, and wives who are being subjected to acts of violence and aggression, we unite in solidarity against those who oppress you, and we suffer with you, just as we suffer today with the women workers whose lives we are here to commemorate. Thank you.
We are saying that every issue is a women's issue. So true. That's so true. Isn't that a women's issue that the economy is already in a recession? That in some communities it's a depression? Is that not an issue for those who are the last hired, first fired, and lowest paid? The loss of jobs in the first 7 years of the 21st century is the worst since the end of the Great Depression. And that is definitely a women's issue. We are losing good paying union jobs that we had to fight to get to begin with. We had to fight to get them to hire women in the plant. Now we're losing these jobs, 235,000 in Ohio alone.
Okay, good. For those of you who don't know, you need to be up on this case. This is 4 young African-American lesbians. They were down in the village, not far from here, and they were harassed, physically, violently attacked by a man who hurled anti-gay epithets at them, sexist epithets at them, words that I will not repeat on this stage. Since then, they fought back, physically fought back, and fought this man back, and we should honor them as heroes for that. Self-defense. However, the state doesn't feel that way, and so now these 4 young women, and I think the oldest is 25, they're facing 3 to 11 years in prison for fighting back. And so we need to continue to struggle to free these women. We need to say it is our right to defend our bodies, no matter where we are, no matter what the situation. It is our right and our duty to defend our lives and the lives of those around us. And so we have to keep this struggle in our heads and really look at them as an example of how to fight back. And we need to fight on all fronts, from the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan that attack women there to the wars against women here in the United States. So I want to, again, thank you all for coming out in this pouring rain because we know how important it is to continue struggling. And I want to say to the young women in the room today, if you want to get involved with this, we just passed around newsletters. Can women raise their hand, please? You can talk to any of us about getting involved with this. We do a number of activities for women's rights, for against all, in support of all anti-imperialist struggles. So please join us, and thank you once again, and let's keep up the struggle.
I broke down in Louisiana and I had to thumb a ride. Got in the first car that pulled over. You can't be picky in the middle of the night. He said, baby, do you like to fool around? He said, baby, do you like to be touched? I said, maybe some other time. Fuck you very much. Oh, and every state line there's a new set of laws, and every policeman comes equipped with extended claws. There's 1,000 shades of white and 1,000 shades of black, but the same rule always applies. Smile pretty and watch your back.